Hey there, guys, and welcome back to Get Going Fast. We were getting into this AI hobby in a quick and efficient manner, which you might actually learn something. And we are obviously in Thanksgiving mode here, coming right around the corner. So we're excited. It's fall. It's almost Christmas. Winter's on its way. So enjoying this last bit of fall goodness, the browns and the yellows and all that good sort of thing. And in the midst of all that, with all the good feeling, warmth stuff going on, we're going to be looking at something called Stable Video Infinity, which is actually kind of a cool little workflow that allows us to make full minute videos. Okay, so this is kind of the holy grail of video generation right now, is how do I make these things last longer than just 4 seconds. I'm going to tell you, I'm actually quite pleased with this workflow. While it's not going to solve all the problems, and we'll talk about a few of the things that are going to kind of keep it probably from being massively production ready sort of thing. You can get a full minute of Taylor Swift and a Ninja Turtle kissing, which, again, for my money, why not? So we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to show you how to install it. Very easy install. Mostly things that you should already have on your machine. And more importantly, I'm going to kind of explain the workflow, because the workflow is, shall we say, a little bit confusing. We'll take a look, but I'm gonna walk you through what all this means, how to ignore the vast majority of it, and get you playing with minute-long videos that you can make in under 10 minutes. So that's pretty good stuff. So before we do that, though, thank you for liking the channel and subscribing. It really helps. We're growing, and you're part of that. And I certainly do appreciate you being the bell ringer for Get Going Fast. Right? You're you're the lonely lighthouse out there scanning the ocean, letting other weary AI hobbyists know that there is safety if you just follow the light. So thanks for doing that, man. Taking care of each other. Good on you. All right, with that said, let's pop forward, take a look at Stable Video Infinity, and figure out how the heck to use this confusing workflow. Yo! Okay, so first thing that we're going to need to do here is we need to get the workflow. So let's go ahead and just pop to a Google browser here. And really all we got to do is just do a search for Stable Video Infinity. I always think of, what's the guy from Toy Story? And beyond, infinity and beyond. So we'll find this one from RxIv25. And it's going to click us over here. We're not going to worry about the actual downloading any of this kind of stuff, because the truth of the matter is, once we get into our ComfyUI, the model manager is going to handle how to do this. But we'll talk about that here in a second. So all we really want to do is we want to come here. You finally got the right one. There's going to be a folder here that says ComfyUI Workflow. Click it. Clack. Click, clack. Okay. Now you're going to pop into here, and you're going to see some example videos of stuff that is done. You can ignore those. What we want is this one that says JSON. Okay. So that a JSON is basically just a database file. It's a way of organizing. It's a way of organizing. It's a way of organizing data, okay? And that's how our ComfyUI workflows are all organized in that manner. So what we're going to do is we're going to just click on that, okay? And then you're going to see that there's a download raw file, okay? So it just means just download it without any extra nonsense, just the actual file. So just click that and save that somewhere to your desktop. Now, I always tell people that you should have a folder called Workflows, okay? Because that's going to help you organize all of your stuff. Because as you get into ComfyUI, you're going to have 18,000 different workflows, okay? You're going to have so many, and if they're not organized, you're going to find it difficult. So create a folder called Workflows, then create a folder called WAN 2.2, and then put another folder in there called Infinity, okay? Or you can put it in there. But I'll tell you what, there's a million WAN 2.2 workflows too. So any further level of organization, you're going to be grateful for. So regardless, go ahead and save that, and then we're not even going to worry anymore about this page, okay? We're done. Okay, I'm done with you. Done. Get, Paige. We don't need you no longer. So what we're going to do then is we're going to open up our ComfyUI. Okay, so when you open up ComfyUI, it usually opens up to something, a blank sort of thing, or you'll have a real basic. So go over to up here at the top, go File, click Open, and then navigate your way to the place where you saved that workflow. Okay, and it's going to pop up, and there's a few things going to happen. First of all, it's going to look like this, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, okay, because you can't fit the whole thing on the screen. So this is actually really poorly designed, but the thing works really good. It's just confusing to look at, but it's fine. Now, the first time you load this, there's going to be some red nodes saying that you don't have certain things installed. And that's because we still have to install Stable Video Infinity. So now up at the top, you should have a manager button here, okay? If you don't have that there, you need to get that installed. The easiest way to get a good Comfy installation is to go to comfy.getgoingfast.pro. All right. And this is a free script for everyone on the internet. They can have it. Okay. You come in here, just go ahead and you can either download this one here. They're both universal installers. They'll work no matter which Python you got. Okay. But you've got the loaded and you've got the normal. So the loaded is going to come with a bunch of like WAN 2.2 stuff that you usually are going to. It grabs a lot of things that you typically need and loads it. If you don't want to worry about that, just get the normal one and it's going to load it up. But the main idea is when you come in here, you'll have your model manager. Your model manager is extremely important for working with ComfyUI. When you click it, when you open up a workflow and you're missing nodes, they will show up red, okay? And it'll say that you're missing these nodes. You come to the manager, click it like that, and then you'll click here where it says install missing custom nodes. When you click this, it's going to pop up and it will say that Stable Video Infinity needs to be installed, okay? So click it. I know, obviously, I've already installed it, so it's not on mine, okay? But you click it, and then it'll ask you to reboot. Okay, so then you reboot. When it gets done rebooting or restarting, not rebooting your machine, just the app, you'll click this restart button. Then when it's done, you can press the reload button. You'll load up, everything will be ready to go. Okay, just like that. It installs it. So very easy first step. Make sure you have the model manager, load the workflow, and you're in there. Now, again, I keep pointing out how confusing this is, and you can see essentially what happens is you just go, it's kind of a pain in the butt, honestly. And we could actually drag this around a bit. Maybe we'll do that here at the end. But you don't really need to worry about most of these because here's how this works. Here's how this workflow flows, okay? You're going to start up here. This is where all of your models are loaded, all right? And it's going to go. Notice it flows to the right. Usually everything always flows to the right. Okay, we're going to start with a starting image, all of our basic settings. Okay, and it's going to flow over here to this first box, and it's going to make your first video. Okay, so it starts with a frame, says from this frame, create something. So it goes over here, creates this. Then it's going to go over here, and it's going to take the last frame of the previous video, and it's going to push it over to here, and then it's going to make another video. And then it's going to take it over here, get the last frame, make another video, push it here, last frame, make another video, and so on, all the way until it gets to the end. Now, you're going to be surprised at how fast this goes. I run a 4090, which is about 24 gigabytes of VRAM, and I was making these in under 10 minutes, which for a minute-long thing is incredible. It's great. Okay, I mean, that's really fast stuff. I've had times working with workflows where it takes me 10 minutes to do a 4-second video. So this workflow is very powerful, works very good. Okay, but to get it working, we got to get the models right. So typically what I do when I first load up a workflow and I need to know where the models are, I just click the run button. Now I'm not going to do that because mine's already set up for me, but it will throw an error And then you press OK. Any box that didn't work will have a red line over it. Okay, so like this will have a red line over it. This will probably have a red line. This will have a red line. And these are all the models that you need to have installed. Okay, so now a lot of these, if you've worked with WAN 2.2, you'll already have them. Okay, so this one comes up now. I do want to say this model I added myself. Okay, the one that it actually pops up to is one. It'll say I2V 14V 48P, but it won't have this FP8 stuff on there. Okay, I think it's actually FP16 maybe. I went ahead and put the FP8 because it is faster. Okay, so it's a lower quant, so it works faster. I use that. It works fine. But whatever WAN you've been using, if it looks basically like this, it has the I2V, that means image to video. Okay, it's the 14 billion parameter one and the 480p. Okay, as long as it's an FP8, FP16, it should be fine. If it's not, you guys, it's going to take you a million years to get it done. But you've gone ahead, you should already have that. Okay, going to be the same thing. We're going to go to our text encoder. If you've worked at all with WAN 2.2, you'll already have this on your system. Okay, you won't have to change it. Okay, let's go over here. Here's the light text to video LoRa. This actually makes it, I don't really know how it works, but I know that this is one of the things that massively speeds stuff up. It makes it so you don't have to go over it so many times. And you should have this downloaded. Now, again, sometimes I walk you guys through exactly how to find these, but here's what you got to do. If you don't have these, just go ahead up here and type it in. Look down here and then go up here and type it in. Don't press enter because you want to stay on this workflow, but then when you're done, copy it over. So start typing light X2V. See, like I can actually see it. It's right there. It's that one right there. So I don't want to hit enter, but maybe I just copy it. And then I can go over to a new thing, paste it in, and then I can download it. Okay, see, I'll find it over here at KeyGI stuff, and put it into the LoRa folders. Okay, but here's the big one. This is the one that we need, is this SVI shot.safe tensors. This one is a little bit hard to find. Okay, so what we have to do is, remember, we already told that web page to get, so we got to go back and humble ourselves a little bit and be like, hey, baby, I didn't really mean what I said. And we go back to here. And we're going to scroll down to where the models are. And here it is. It says, you can see down here in the download SVI file, it's going to say SVI shot. You'll click model. Okay. And it'll ask you where you want to save it. So that's actually going to open it up directly to a download. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and see, let's see where we got to put it. Let's go back over to here. Look at it, says it's a LoRa. Notice up here it says LoRa select. Okay, so we're going to put that in the LoRa's folder. If you go to your Windows Explorer, okay, you go to your ComfyUI. Let me see if I can actually open it up here. Okay, you go to your ComfyUI, you click on your ComfyUI there, you click models, and then you'll go down to where LoRa's are, and you'll save it into that folder. Okay. All right. That's really the only major one that you have to find. Now, the easiest way, if you don't have all these models, you can do it manually, like I said, but the easiest way to get all of those files is just go to wan.getgoingfast.pro. Okay. Oops. I put a comma. And then if you go to, oh, doggone, I keep putting a comma there instead of a period. If you go to wan.getgoingfast.pro, thank you very much, you can actually just get the model manager here. And if you download that, it'll have all your support files. That's the fastest way to get that going. Okay, but regardless, you get that going there. There's really not much else you need to do. You need to just make sure that all of those models are properly selected. You just click on it, and then you find the one you want, click on it. By the way, once you download these things, you need to hit the refresh. Okay, you'll need to make sure you have Clip Vision 8. Okay, then all the big stuff is we just choose the file to upload. So you choose your file that you want to start with. So we started with Taylor Swift and the Ninja Turtle. Now notice I put the width and the height very low. If it starts you at like 720, which is like, that's not quite full HD, but that's still a lot. So my rule of thumb is when I'm testing stuff, I really don't want to do anything over 480p. I stick around the 256 to 480 because I want it to work fast. I can't know if I'm trying to do something at like 720 resolution or 1024, that kind of thing. It's going to take a long time regardless. And some of these models just are bad. And if I'm doing starting something at something that already is going to take a lot of time, I can't tell if the reason it's taking a long time is because the workflow's busted or because my resolution's too high. So what I do is I start it small. Start at 480. I found if you just do stuff just 256, sometimes it's too small, but I stick right around the 480, okay? And then that way I can see how long it will take. And I go, oh, okay, wow, that didn't take very long at all. Then I can bump it. If it takes forever at 480, there's no way I'm going to get it at 720, okay? So go ahead and set it up at 480 by 480, okay? Or, whatever, follow the dimensions, okay? If you're doing something like this, then what I do is I set my width at 480 and my height at 256, okay? That kind of thing. I just kind of follow the dimensions that are there. That's really all you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about any of the rest of this stuff because it's just going to mess it up. There's your number of frames. It doesn't really matter. You could bump that, but you're already getting 1 minute and 5 seconds. Okay, so now over here, you come in and here's where you put in your prompt. So, Turtle and Taylor Swift meet in a passionate embrace, and which so gross. That just cracks me up. I just use that because it makes me think it's hilarious. But you put that all into there, okay? You really don't need to mess with anything else, and then click run. And if you got your settings all right, it will, or you got your models right, it'll load. If you don't, you'll get an error. You'll come back here and you'll see which one of these aren't right. And you just got to make sure you clicked on the right model. Again, after you downloaded the models, you need to click the reload to refresh them into the system. But then it's going to run through exactly like you said. You're going to see it go from here to here to here to here to here. And you'll just see these start to populate. Okay. And it's going to end up over here. And then when you're done, you can click, your queue over here and you'll see the finished product. But here's the deal. There is a couple mistakes here. So at the end here, our final one, this is our video combine box. This is where our videos are put together. I changed this for my workflow, but you see down here, it says save output. For some stinky reason, that's set to false when you download this, which means that if you get this done, you actually have to right click and save it. It will not auto save it. So you want to turn that to true. Okay. Can you imagine waiting forever and then you close it out and then your video's gone? You don't want to do that. Okay. So set that to true. In fact, what I would do is get everything set up exactly the way you want it. And then go over to here, click on File, and then click on Export. Okay. And then you just click Confirm, and it will open up a box to save your workflow. And then I would just resave it so that you don't have to set it up every time. Okay. In fact, over here, where are we at here? Over here at Get Going Fast, if you're a Prairie Dog member, I just threw this out for Prairie Dogs. So I just threw out the workflow. I didn't do a model manager for this one. So like if you're a basic member, you can get this workflow, okay? And what I did with that one is I went ahead and I set it all up the way that I have it set up, which will work the best for you, okay? You can also just copy my settings if you just want to download the normal thing. But see, this is the problem with these things get so big and then it's just confusing scrolling through that stuff. Okay, but I've got the models set up here. I got the FP8, which is going to be the fastest for you. Your width and height is preset and your save is preset. So if you get it from over at my site, okay, it's a basic member, you're pretty much ready to go. You just need the models. Grab the WAN 2.2 model manager. You're pretty much set to go, other than having to download the SVI model. Okay. Otherwise, make those settings yourself and save it. Okay. Then when you're done, you're going to have long stuff. Now, I do want to point out, this is not the Holy Grail. I want you to notice what happens here. Watch what they're going to do. They're going to kiss, and then they're going to look at the camera. Then they're going to kiss, and then they're going to look at the camera. So some of these do that a lot, okay? And that's obviously frustrating. You don't need the same scene over and over again. Some of that can be handled by prompt. Okay, notice she changed there. She smiled that time. Okay, now, but it's not perfect. Now, there's another thing I want to show you here, that this model is trained in a weird way. Watch what she does here. Okay, watch what she does with this heart, making her hands. She makes a heart with her hands. So you're like, oh, that's really cute. Okay, you're like, oh, that's really neat. And it is really neat until you do another video. And she does it here too somewhere. But you realize that she does the heart thing with her hands as well. Okay, I'm not exactly sure where it was. But then same thing, you go over here and she does the heart thing here too. I'm not finding exactly where it is, but each one of these has them making a heart with their hands. So at some point, you just start getting the same animation over and over. And that's going to have to do with the way that these things were trained. Okay, I'm sorry that I didn't find that to show you exactly the hand thing. But guaranteed, each one of these videos, they come up and they do the heart thing. Oh, here it is. There she did it. Okay, even the Ninja Turtle one, although it was kind of cool because he puts his hand up, she puts her hand up, and they make a heart. But so you can see that some of these you're getting a lot of the same training. Okay, but I can say this really quickly. If we go over to where it is, I'm not going to go, and this is beyond the scope of what I do, but they do talk about training your own. Okay, so if you have your own videos, you're not going to do it with a local computer. You're going to have to rent something or other, but they do give you directions if you want to put your own videos in there. So really amazing in that what it can do. And if you have the wherewithal to say, I want to make a movie, a video, and I have the type of animation that I want to train this on and the wherewithal, you can actually train this model to do that. Out of the box, though, you're going to be getting some pretty good stuff, pretty good movement. Incredible, obviously, incredible WAN 2.2 imagery. But you will get a little bit of the back and forth, same stuff. Oh, there she did it. There's the heart. And you're going to be getting that a lot. Okay. So maybe you can negative prompt it out of there. But last tip I'm going to give you here is when you're playing with this, if you don't like the way that it's going, what you can always do is just go back in there and you take the last frame and throw it back in there. So how this works is it takes a single frame and it creates a video. When that video is done, it takes the last frame and it puts it back in there, and then it creates another video off that last frame. So you can always go in there and just keep choosing the certain frame you want to guide this forward. And I'm telling you, it works fast. Okay, this is a fast workflow. I think you'll be very pleased with it. Again, you can get it over here at, if you're already a Prairie Dog, you just have to be a Prairie Dog member. You can get it over here. Just download it. It's preset. Otherwise, follow the instructions in this video and go ahead and download it yourself and get it going fast. So, all right. With that note, we're going to leave you guys there. Hope you enjoy this stuff. Hey, man, come on over to Discord and share the stuff you're working on. We got all sorts of good guys. We got 9-Layer Nige over there. We got Coon Grizzly is over there. We got BGG. These guys are all putting together awesome videos and sharing it. I want to see what you're working on too, and I'll be actually happy to showcase your work on here at Get Going Fast as well. So, all right. In the meanwhile, you guys stay good. Prepare yourselves for the holidays, and we will catch you on the other side. Yo.